all, in these two videos, I want to describe how I grade according to rubrics for your coursework, both the discussion boards and assignments. I'll cover projects in a separate video. In this first video, we will start with discussion boards, using English 123's first discussion board as an example. The rubric is generally the same for all discussion boards across classes, with the exception of English 123's Module 4 peer review. The discussion board rubric has 4 categories with 4 options showing a scale of percentages for the grades, with the exception of 1. I'll explain which one is different in a moment. But first, the scale, which applies in varying forms to assignments as well. The top category, exemplary, is 100% of the points. So you'll see the value of the comprehension section here is 40. So that means it would be the equivalent of 40 points. 100% is for posts that really go above and beyond. They fulfill the assignment, but in a unique and innovative way that is amazing. An exemplary, therefore, is a value that we do not give out lightly. Think of it this way. 100% is perfect, right? If you get that on a test, that means you got every answer correct. But we're human. It's hard to be absolutely perfect, especially when it comes to writing, which is a process, not an endpoint. There's always the possibility of doing better, and we do these exercises so you can improve and learn to think outside of the box more. A more common and still very, very good grade is proficient. Using comprehension still as an example, your initial post might meet expectations, answering all the questions in the prompt, but it could be something that we've seen before. As you'll see from reading each other's posts regularly, you'll find a lot of similarities with each other. So the difference between exemplary and proficient is that the exemplary stands out more and exceeds expectations. Proficient is worth 85% of the grade. So the value of the criterion. So using the value of 40 from before example, do a little math. Pause while I calculate. 34 out of 40 points. The next on the list is needs improvement. This is for work that makes an effort to answer all the questions in the prompt, but might misunderstand something or not be as fully fleshed out as we would like. That just means that you are still learning. You can do better next time if you apply the feedback you received, whether from myself or your classmates or maybe SNHU's academic support. This is 55% of the value, so that is 22 points. Now, most work will fall in either of these two ranges, proficient and needs improvement, with fewer in exemplary, and hopefully the last category will be 0. This is not evident, which means that the criterion has not been attempted at all. So focusing on comprehension again, you'll notice that each value has the phrase initial post. That refers to when you go to the discussion board, so using English 123's 1-3 discussion persuasion in everyday life. You go to the discussion board and click start a new thread and write 1 to 2 paragraphs answering the question in this prompt. So this will be evaluated according to the quality of your post. However, if you do not submit the initial post at all, then of course that is not evident. 0 points, 0%. You can still potentially get other points if you submit responses or vice versa, but it will significantly lower your grade. So the total is, out of 100%, you would lose 40 points. So you want to make sure that you complete all the elements of the assignment. This applies to assignments as well, as I will talk about more in the next video. Now that we have gone over the scale with which each element is evaluated, we can talk about the elements themselves. I have already mentioned the first criterion, comprehension, which refers to how well your initial post answers the questions in the prompt. So for discussion board 1 to 3, that's these. The next category on the discussion board rubric is timeliness. This is only 10 points of the overall grade, but that doesn't make it any less important. You'll notice that this is the only category that doesn't have exemplary on the scale. The reason for this is you cannot go above and beyond on timeliness. So proficient is 100%. There is no extra credit for being early. In fact, please do not post your entry before the week module begins so that we can all stay on the same page. So as long as you submit between Monday and Thursday evening when the initial post is due, you will receive full credit for that section. And notice it focuses on initial posts. If you submitted Friday evening, that is a day late, so you receive only 55% of the points, or 5.5 points. Any later than that date, the timeliness category receives a 0%. This is slightly different from the late penalty for assignments, which is 10% of the overall assignment value subtracted from the grade you earned. The third category is engagement. These are the responses to your classmates, of which you are required to give at least 2. As I mentioned in my week 1 announcement, this is not just hi or I agree with no explanation. These responses are also considered not evident because they do not fulfill the questions in the prompt. Again, this is 0% of the grade. An exemplary response gives lots of detail, engages both with your classmate on a personal level, and also provides feedback on the specific question. And of course, both responses, or possibly more than the 2 responses, should be of the same quality. The final category is writing mechanics. This includes proofreading and citation. I know some of you may speak languages other than English and may not feel confident in writing. That is okay. The important thing is first that you can be understood, and secondly, that you give credit when credit is due. So if you refer to one of our Mind Edge readings, for example, which you should do in many cases, give a citation. If you aren't sure how to do that at first, in the first couple of weeks of class, this is okay. That's what you're here to learn, and we'll be talking about format in the first couple of weeks. But the most important thing from the get-go, even if it's not perfect format, is that you get in the habit of saying where things come from. So those are the main things I will be looking for in discussion boards, varying, of course, according to the prompt. Assignments are a little different. I will discuss these more in my next video. You can find it in this announcement in the embedded YouTube video following this one. In the meantime, let me know if you have any questions. You can email me at j.alberghini@snhu.edu or post in the general questions forum, which is also on the discussion boards right here. Until next time.